Hi guys! So today I'm going to be showing you a different method for cutting hedgehog nails, and I have my demo hog here that you see in a lot of my hedgehog videos. This is Draco. If you haven't watched any of my hedgehog videos, he is the more cooperative of my two, even though he's being pretty fussy right now. He definitely tolerates stuff like this more often. In my previous video about cutting hedgehog nails, I did actually show you guys the bath method, which is, oh, he's pooping. Good? Y'all right? Alright. So, oh, relax, okay? This method actually involves doing it out of water. I do recommend this method mostly for hedgehogs that are more cooperative and tend to keep their quills down or stay unballed, because even though Draco is like trying to get away from me, he is actually actively unballing for me, and his quills are down even though he's like irritated with me a little bit. His nails are substantially longer than what you would want to let your hedgehog's nails get to, and that's because I actually broke the cuticle scissors that I usually, I poked him a little bit there. His nails are actually substantially longer than what I would typically let them get to, and this is because I actually broke the cuticle scissors that I typically use for his nails, and I had planned on getting new ones, and it didn't happen, and his nails grow incredibly fast, so I'm actually going to be using some small human nail clippers. These are definitely not my favorite. I think I and most hedgehog owners have more incidence of cutting the quick with something like this, but that's all personal preference, obviously. Anyway, so I'm going to use what I have, obviously, because his nails need done and I can't really wait any longer. So, the way this method works is, I call it the Smoosh method. And like I said, doing this with a hedgehog that is more cooperative than not is best if you have a hedgehog that you're really having trouble cutting its nails. Check out my bath method, because that tends to make things a whole heck of a lot easier. I also mentioned at the end of that video doing this, where you've got them on your wrist and you're holding their feet while they're sort of kicking off of you. That's also for a very cooperative hedgehog. Even he wouldn't let me do that. And I'd imagine if I did it long enough, he'd end up biting me. Basically, what you're going to do is, while they're unballed, you want to get your hand or your wrist, and you want to get it between their front and their back legs, and you just want to sort of smoosh them against your chest. Now, obviously you don't do this roughly, like you don't want to hurt them, but you definitely want to smush them tight enough to where they're not going to go anywhere, and they'll sort of freeze after a minute, and then you just go in, and I really do not enjoy using human nail clippers, but you just go in and give these a clip. And obviously they aren't going to like it. They don't like their nails getting done in general, but like Draco really isn't a fan of this position, as you can see. They get used to it the more you do it. I don't do this with Draco very often. I have like a couple photos of him while I'm doing it, because he's such a chunk that like his little fat rolls hang out when I squish him like this a little bit. So I have like a couple videos of, not videos, just photos of me cutting his nails like this, but he's not a huge fan, and honestly, it's so much easier in the bath that I don't. The only time I ever use this method is if like I don't want to give him a bath, like if his skin's dry or something, which he needs a bath anyway. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, he's got poop on his head. But yeah, you're just gonna hold and clip, and I am holding his back paw in my hand, and because he'll like tuck it back up in his fat rolls. I know. This is harder to do too when like I'm standing in front of a camera right now. Not exactly in the normal position I'd be while cutting his nails. So if you get lucky, they'll freeze like that. So, and as you can see, this method has a lot to do with like maneuvering them, and it's great if you don't want to get them in the back. So, like I said, this isn't a method that I'd use for a hedgehog that really quills up on you or isn't comfortable with you, because honestly, as much as Draco's fighting me, he's not, like, as you can see, he's not trying to ball up. Like, he isn't scared right now or defensive or anything like that. See, he's even open on his back. Like, he's irritated that I have him pinned, but he's not overly upset about the situation or anything like that. If I was to do this with, say, Blaze, it just wouldn't work. If I was to do this with a hedgehog like Blaze, who tends to ball up more and tends to spend a lot of time in his little defensive position, it wouldn't work, honestly, because one, it would hurt me to push him against my chest with his quills out, but also getting, like, in order for this to work, you really need to get your hands in between their front and back legs and sort of hold them in that position with one hand, really, and pin them back so that you can clip all of the nails. And doing that with a hedgehog that isn't as relaxed just really doesn't work that well. You can still do it. It's not impossible. I've done it with Blaze before. But it's not comfortable for either of you. If you have a hedgehog that this method would not work for, check out my bath video. That is another way I clip hedgehog nails, and it's actually the way I prefer. I'm showing you this method because a lot of people don't like to give their hedgehogs baths very often, and I totally understand that train of thought. I hope this video made sense and that you guys learned something, or at least witnessed something. If I didn't explain it very well, I'm sorry. But anyway, I want to thank you guys all so much for watching and for hanging out with Draco and I for a little bit. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, the link to the bath method that I have for cutting nails will be in the description, as well as it will come up in the cards at some point during the video. And all you do to access the links in the cards, I've had someone ask, there is a circle with an eye in it, and that's like the information center. So any links that I include during the video, I will put up in there. It will flash across the top of the screen at the time I set it to, but it'll also remain up there the entire video anyway. So you can always go to that at the end of the video and see any links I've provided that are relevant to, you know, this video. So anyway, if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, that would be great. If not, thanks for watching anyway, and hopefully I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye! Where are you going? Where are you going?